Denise, thank you very much. And welcome once again to the 2017 AARP WWL TV debate between the two runoff candidates for mayor of New Orleans, City Councilwoman LaToya Cantrell and former Municipal Court Judge Desiree Charbonnet. We're coming to you live from Xavier University, and it just so happens that both candidates are alums of Xavier, so they should feel right at home.
No,
they attended school here.
I'm not. I'm sorry.
Okay. They both attended school here.
I'm Xavier.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
I thought I saw that on your Facebook page. Mrs. Cantrell, the first question goes to you. Records show that you used your taxpayer-funded city credit card to pay at least $8,950 in personal or political expenses since taking office 5 years ago. Allegedly, you got a tax-free loan that taxpayers paid for.
Well, I disagree with that simply because the expenditures that you're talking about, the information that you're referring to, was manipulated by my opponent.
What's your response
That's
to her?
not true. The record reflects that she's made many personal charges.
Ma'am, how could a former judge manipulate public documents?
I've not touched any of your documents. I did not personally submit any of your documents to any public agency. They're a part of your record, ma'am.
Ma'am, the
How many
documents.
questions do you get?
No, I get to go.
She gets
yeah,
a response,
okay.
but are you
She
done
already
with your?
did,
Are
but
you
that's
done
fine.
with your
Listen,
response?
Let's go.
Okay, yeah, let's do it. Because the documents that you disseminated were manipulated.
No, we did not manipulate the documents at all. We did not manipulate the document where you went to the pizza place and bought beers and wine and a bunch of pizzas for people.
So
Beer is not outreach.
I didn't. The city didn't pay for that.
Okay.
The city didn't pay for that.
The receipt is very clear.
No.
How-
Manipulated, I'm
All right.
sure. That's according
Over
to you.
many days.
That's
It's in the
according to you
record, and
your
everybody's going to see
manipulation.
it.
Your
I
manipulation
did not
of
manipulate
public-
your documents.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't
Drafting.
accuse me of writing
Yeah,
that.
you
I did not write on
It
your
was from
documents. I did not
campaign,
touch your
ma'am.
documents. I did
Yes,
not give them
ma'am.
to the media,
Yes,
the
you
media
did.
outlets at all. So I did not touch your documents.
Yes,
Any
ma'am.
document that went to the media was sent by the campaign, not by
That's
me.
your campaign.
I never.
That's
It's
your
funny that they
campaign.
orange and black T-shirts.
That's your campaign.
Which is your campaign colors.
Yeah.
Let's say hunker down.
Hunker down.
Hunker down, y'all.
Hunker down.
Hunker down.
Hunker down.
Hunker down.
Hunker down.
Hunker down.
Okay, hey everybody, it's us again.
Hello!
It's been a long time.
Has it? Yeah, I guess it's been a couple weeks.
Did Tim and Em miss us?
I'm sorry that, as always, we are unable to put out this podcast on any kind of a recurring schedule.
We failed again, but that's what they expect from us. You know, Tim and Em look forward to our failures, and they want to tell us about them immediately.
That's true. That's
So,
true.
I look forward to hearing about it.
Oh, Tim and Em is our groupies.
Oh, okay.
They're our listeners.
Yes.
Some podcasts have commentariats or whatever, and we have, I listen to one called The Solid Verbal, and their fans are called Verballers. But we have Tim and Em.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Is it embarrassing that I didn't know that?
No.
No,
Okay.
not at all.
Cool.
Not at all.
We'll give you points for that, actually.
Lance is not here, so instead we brought.
That's not Lance.
That's not Lance.
Oh shit!
So we have a very special guest tonight. We have Caitlin Marone here. Yay!
Say hi, Kate.
Hi, hello. I'm happy to be on your podcast. I like it, even though I just didn't know that long-running joke.
You're not a podcast enthusiast, is that correct?
Yes, that's true.
All right, that's fine.
Yes.
Yeah, neither am I.
There's room for all kinds at this table.
I hope so. I can go, though, too, if necessary.
No, we're gonna have a good time.
Okay.
We're gonna pretend that we didn't just do all of our best jokes in
we
the
had
5
so
minutes
many.
before we did record.
That's normal.
There were so many.
That's what we do every week.
That's right.
How are you, Jeff?
I'm okay. I am fresh off a big accomplishment I didn't tell you about.
What?
I managed to white privilege my way out of yet another traffic ticket this week.
Tell me more.
Yeah. Well, this is like the third one in a decade, at least. I
remember the rest of them from the Megaphone show that you did.
Okay, yeah. I forgot this is a running thing with me. I was in transit between one of my shitty job duties to another one of them. I mean, my basic job function is to like be the person in the office who like tells everybody to stop freaking out.
Everybody calm down.
Right.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's where I was going from one of these gigs to the next. I got pulled over by this guy who just spotted me for not wearing my seatbelt. And
What?
yeah.
Doesn't your car have the thing where like the seatbelt, like it's one of those belts that's like in the door, right? And it like kind of moves up when you get in the
Yeah, but
door?
I've deactivated that
But
Oh,
it's
okay.
also 2017. Why aren't you wearing your seatbelt?
because I wasn't thinking about it, and I often don't think about it. And it's like the
That's why you shouldn't disable. Sorry, I'm sorry.
no, but there are
I'll
so
back
many
off.
things to think about when you're driving my car. First,
Yeah,
of all.
have you ever seen Jeff's car?
No.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's-
I think
Is it one of those situations where it would be worse to wear the seatbelt?
It might be.
it might-
The seatbelt might kill
I
him.
thought those were a myth, but it's fine.
Jeff, I think you need to describe to our listeners and to Caitlin your car.
Yeah, well, so this is part of, like, I think what gets me out of the thing is, he comes up behind me, and the first thing he says is, like, what is this, an 85? And I'm like, no, it's a 94 Toyota Tercel. And it's, like, got stuff falling off of it, and he asks, you know why I stopped you, because they always say that. And, like, it could be...
Get you to admit guilt.
It could be so many things. And so I'm like, no, not really. And he like grabs the seatbelt. It's this thing. But then he goes back and like, does this little thing for like 5 minutes while you're waiting. And he comes back and he's like, well, I'm going to let you off with a warning. But look, you have to get this brake tag fixed.
Oh no!
And
I thought you had like the fake one, right?
no. So Lance tried to get me a fake brake tag
Yeah.
a couple months ago. And I bought it from him. And then I never put it on the car, and then I sold it back to him. So, so that happened, and then
Is it your? Wait, you told me this one. It wasn't your brake tag from like 2008 or something.
it's 2009
Yeah,
because it had
Because the Saints won the Super Bowl.
the Saints
right?
won, and it was the black and gold one,
yeah.
and the Saints won the Super Bowl, and I haven't taken it off. But there's other reasons, like there's stuff falling off the car.
It wouldn't pass a brake tag inspection.
Well, it almost will. I just replaced the brake light actually on my left brake light, so I got that fixed.
We'll come back to that.
Yeah, and that's what I told the cop. I'm like, hey, I'm working on that. I just got that tag. The brake light fixed, and he goes, this thing's from 2009. And I said, well, look, there's other stuff wrong with this car. And I like pointed at the window because my rear window has been smashed multiple times, and there's
the side window.
yeah, the side window, and there's scars there where the masking tape had been, or the
Okay.
duct tape.
But
So
you got
could-
new glass for it
Yeah,
recently, right?
it's fixed now, but you can
Yay.
still see where the tape was.
Sure.
And so I pointed that out to him where that was. He goes, oh yeah, I see that. And I'm like, oh man, and there's so much else that's wrong with this car, officer. You don't even know. And he's like, okay, so he lets me go.
Have fun in your death trap, pal.
That's right. Put your seatbelt on.
Make sure to imprison yourself in this for when the inevitable comes.
It's still, I don't understand why you would not wear a seatbelt. Like, all those things just seem like it's more reason.
Absent-mindedness. Like, just
You disabled the seatbelt.
right.
It's not. It's
That's the literal opposite of absent.
Because it's annoying to get in and out of the car with the thing coming. It's lots of stuff. Lots of stuff happening.
yeah.
Especially when you're like me, when you don't really know, you don't know how to, your body doesn't work most of the time, and you can't really, move in and out of things, doors or cars, without breaking stuff. So just one more obstacle that I can get out of my way.
Yeah. I was in a 96 Toyota Tercel today, and I broke a part of the door off.
To see?
Just trying to close it a little bit more on the highway. It was squealing with the sound of the air on the bridge just coming through the door. It was a horrible sound, and I was like, I gotta close it. And she was like, the person whose car this is, I feel weird. I don't want a neighbor because it feels weird to call somebody out of their car. She loves it though, so anyway. But
What is it with these 90s Tercels, man?
yeah, I don't know. I mean, it seems like a good enough car.
Well, they keep going
Yeah.
until you kill them, and just stuff doesn't work on them. Like the
Things are
doors
just gonna
fall
fall
off,
off.
and the lights fall off, and the whatever. But they keep running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you got off with a warning, but that is hilarious that you changed your own brake light because Caitlin knows a lot about changing brake lights.
I do, though. It's true. I don't ever actually do it, though, at the clinics, at the brake light clinics.
So,
Or at least I haven't yet.
so Caitlin, I guess we should tell everybody is
I feel weird about saying.
well, you don't want to talk about it.
No, I want to talk about it.
Okay.
I want somebody else to do it.
All right. So Caitlin is.
We're happy to oblige.
Caitlin and Allie both are, are big wigs at DSA now, and
But we're all members. This is a DSA podcast now. Bye, Lance. We're taking over. Lance, join DSA.
I have so many things to say, but I'm not going to right now.
Okay.
Caitlin's big contribution this year has been to facilitate these "Give Me a Brake Light" events, right? Where
Yeah, we're in the presence of the inventor of the event. Give me a break. Give me
The
a break.
clinics.
Parentheses light. Parentheses apostrophe or exclamation point.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So the term you're using is clinics,
Yeah.
what you guys do is you go out and you just set up somewhere, and anybody who is in need of a brake light replacement can just show up and receive free services there, right?
Yeah, we just replace their brake light. Just take the dead one out and put a new one in, and then give people a snack if they want one.
There's food involved.
There's always snacks.
Okay.
Yeah, people love that. We've been doing that. It's cool. It's been a real successful project in some ways, and in other ways we have yet to see. I don't know.
Well, okay. So, do you want to talk about like why, what's the thinking behind it? Like, what's the utility behind doing this? Or
Well, so not everybody can just point out how shitty their car is and get away with whatever bullshit is
Great
going on
point.
with their car.
exactly.
I personally have gotten into a lot of shit for having an out brake light. I had a really terrible experience in Florida one time where I was like, oh no, I'm physically endangered by these police officers. I wish that this wasn't happening. And it was because I had a brake light out. And many other people have had many worse situations. Also, there's like the idea that you might get a fine or something. If you get fines add up, municipal fines can be devastating to a person because eventually you might get arrested and incarcerated. But it's also extremely easy and cheap to fix them. Mm-hmm. So the idea is that we're just going to set up and do it one day so that people who are putting it off or maybe even can't afford it or don't know how to do it or don't have any, just like have been like, oh yeah, I got to do that, right?
People like me who like let shit go forever and ever.
Yeah.
And end up in trouble because of this.
Right. Or me in the same situation, or literally anybody, because, the more you work, the harder it is for you to actually do shit like that because you're working all the time.
Right.
And so if you can have like 5 minutes where somebody else is fixing like this problem that's weighing on you, it's a good thing. And it's a way of supporting people together, like with this issue that we all kind of face, and but some communities more than others, of course. And yeah, it's like a way of just kind of extending this goodwill towards other people.
And the other thing that's remarkable about it is that as a DSA program, it's been replicated around the country.
Yeah.
After being pioneered here in New Orleans, and like people have asked you guys how to do it, and you kind of help people set up similar programs around the country. Is that right?
Yeah, people have been doing it all over the place. Just every weekend. there's more.
Indianapolis, North Carolina, Tennessee, Oakland.
Yeah, I think there's this weekend.
Yeah, all over.
Tons, yeah.
And like college groups,
Central
are doing
Illinois.
It. Like they did one at NC State University.
Yeah.
Those Wolfpack YDSA kids
Yeah.
put on a brake light event
It's
in Raleigh.
beautiful.
Like it was, yeah, it's awesome.
My hometown chapter got in touch with me about it, and I was too effusive, and now I don't think they're gonna do it.
Oh,
I was just like, I'm so proud. And they never got back to me. I don't think they're gonna do it. Maybe they will. I don't know. If you're listening, Little Rock DSA, please do it. It'll make me so proud. And my mom will give you money, I promise.
We're gonna send this to them just to like make them listen to it.
Yeah. Listen to our podcast.
Yeah. Little Rock DSA, come on, hunker down, kids.
It's also created a huge fight in DSA, which is something I'm maybe even more proud of.
Okay, well, let's hear about this.
I mean, leftists love to argue online. It's so good. There was this big fight because East Bay DSA thinks that it is not...
Wait, who?
East Bay DSA?
East Bay,
so
where's
it's
this?
like Oakland and...
Okay.
The
Alameda.
East Bay. Yeah.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
The east side of the San Francisco Bay.
Understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. So on the other side of the San Francisco Bay from San
Right.
Francisco.
Some people in California.
Yeah. So like not the North Bay.
Right.
Right, but the east.
Or the south.
If you're
Bay.
looking at it on a map, it's the east side of it.
Not San Jose.
Yeah.
Right.
Just to get that clear.
Sacramento?
No. It's farther south.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So like Richmond.
I don't know where Richmond is, but no. It's
Okay.
by definition not where I'm talking about.
Okay.
It's not up Bay or down Bay or
In the Bay.
Lakeside Bay.
I think it's in the bay.
Isn't
I think
there-
technically it's in the bay.
Oh, like in the water?
No.
Like on an island?
No, but I think you could say it was in the bay.
Like on Alcatraz.
I don't think they're on Alcatraz.
Oh, can you say in the bay? Is that like a cool way of saying like in the area?
Doesn't it seem like that would be a thing you could say?
Sure.
I was in the bay. Like if you're like,
Yeah,
say
brah.
you live in San
I was in the
San
bay,
Sacramento.
brah. Now I'm
Yeah.
back in LA.
Exactly.
Okay, I got
You did
it.
a great
I got
job.
it. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so
Thank you.
so East Bay DSA, which has which Oakland is a part of, is said that they don't think it's good. So it is social strategy. There was one member who, I don't know if this was like an official dispatch from the East Bay DSA, but he wrote this really inflammatory article, I don't want to call it an article; it gives it too much credit. Essay,
A post.
if you will.
Always be posting.
Yes, in which he spent 3 paragraphs completely dismissing the value of the brake lights, but not in any detail. He just had to spend 3 paragraphs repeating over and over that he didn't think it was a good idea. By which, like, he said that people of color can and working communities can do their own organizing, which is like insane for so many reasons. And also, what else did he say? It doesn't matter. The point is,
I see. So you're being some kind of a savior complex or something.
yeah. So they've
Okay.
been saying white saviorism a lot, which is
Ah.
funny because most of the Bay Area, like, so they're so
Isn't that
people,
their whole like raison d'etre in the Bay Area? like
yeah,
like tech bros
right.
and such. I don't know. I'm about to say something really mean.
Yeah. So they formed this coalition with the other Bay Area chapters, and so they're actually putting it on, but not through East Bay, and East Bay won't sponsor it. But it's mostly being run by people of color who wrote a letter that was like, "This is crazy because we're actually the ones doing this," and it was just like really cool because like there was a lot of actual like conversation that came out of it that was much smarter than his like. It seems like it's white saviorism, therefore we shouldn't do it and we shouldn't consider it at all. And also, I mean, I think people just, I don't know, I don't get it. Like, nobody's given a really good, I wish somebody would give a really good argument against it. Like, a really solid argument. Because I want to think about it more.
It seems to me like you have a group of people who are coming together in these chapters all over the country who just want to do something positive and want to like get out and be visible and be helpful and do something.
And also take a something that is not just a nice thing to do, but that is a stand against
It's
like,
explicitly
shitty
political.
like shitty police activity.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like it has a very clear political orientation to it.
Yeah.
Which
There's
is-
nobody who hears about it and doesn't know what it's about.
Yeah.
I mean, if they do, then they aren't who we're talking to, right?
I guess this is a challenge in organizing generally, though, is that you always have this, pushback of people who, or it's, you're doing it wrong. There's this constant, like, you're doing it wrong. And this, within those arguments is something of value, but then at the same time, there's like, you can't just sit around, like, navel gazing all day. You have to go.
And this is the thing people can do. And they like put their hands into a thing and like get invested in it and meet people and talk to people. It's fun. People like doing it. Like, why not? There's nothing, I don't know.
I mean, but it's not just about like giving people a thing to do. It's also, I think, really the whole point is that as an organization, we want to involve people, as many people as we can, in the construction of our political project.
Right.
And this is a great way to get people excited about doing that.
Okay. So, when's the next one?
Saturday.
This Saturday?
Yeah.
Where?
At the Living Gospel Church in Harvey, Louisiana.
We're going to the West Bank.
Yep.
Well, that's
To a
pretty
really, pretty remote part of the West Bank. I don't know how it's going to go.
Wait, why did we decide to do it there? Why did you...
Well, our beloved John Gautreaux, his family goes to that church.
Okay.
So he asked the pastor, and the pastor very casually was like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." And we were like, "Okay, but like, do you know what we're actually doing?" And he was like, "Yeah, no, it seems like it's no, you can just have the parking lot." And we were like, "Okay, but do you know who we are?" And he was like, "Yeah, it's fine, it's fine." So they seem,
It's good.
It's been kind of unsettling, actually.
Like that. That's
Oh, and I should also say that because Gretna is like their police department is out of control, like with that kind of stuff. Like they such a high incarceration rate or like arrest rate in Gretna, and they recently were found to be doing like explicit. What's the word?
Entrapment?
No, what's the thing where you have to get a certain number?
Oh, quotas.
Yeah,
Oh,
quotas.
that's right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They were also doing entrapment of for ICE
Jesus.
at the Gretna bus terminal.
So that's something we also we just need to be careful about that. I never want to think about that.
Good. So
Are we going to have this episode out by Saturday? Maybe.
maybe.
It doesn't matter.
You never know.
What else is going on? We should talk about the election, right?
Sure. You.
Oh, who's ready?
I feel like this election has been going on for forever.
And yet nothing has happened.
Well, the one thing happened, but then nothing else.
Well, okay. I mean, the thing that happened was we got as far as the primary, and everything kind of played out in the primary the way you expected it to, and not only that, but like
The way you foretold it, you mean?
No, the way people expected it to happen, and like once you saw that, you kind of realized the whole thing was over, and there hasn't been it's a foregone conclusion now. So
Wait, but who do you think is going to win the District B spot?
Oh, I think Jay Banks is going to win the District B
Yeah.
spot.
You think?
Yeah, you seem to feel like people always are nervous about this.
I'm nervous about it.
I'm nervous about it too.
That's interesting. I haven't been from the beginning. Well, can somebody tell me why? Because
People love people like Seth Bloom. They don't like Seth Bloom specifically, but they love dudes that like look like him and are into the same things he's into, and they love somebody who's
like
going to say,
opioids?
"Is he into those?"
Yeah.
he has something of a history there.
Interesting.
Yeah, he admitted that. He was like,
Oh.
that's one of the reasons he cares about that issue is that he's personally struggled with opioid addiction.
See,
and
that's-
everyone looked at him and was like, bro, I think you're still struggling with it.
People love. He's like what? He's a lawyer, right? People love that.
He loves school reform.
Yeah.
he's
People are really into that.
People hate minimum wages, which is why he's great for people. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, his platform is completely like he is probably the most explicitly, I guess, conservative who's been in like on the entire slate this year.
Yeah.
He's like,
and yet he's running as a Democrat.
Because he has to.
because you do that's what you do.
Yeah.
I think
Doesn't but like Jay Batt ran as a Republican. Like just come out. Just come out,
he's
man.
He's not running in that district though. He's running in B.
Be who you are, Seth.
Oh my
You're
God.
not a Democrat.
Yeah, I guess.
But Seth, he's been on the school board as a charter school guy. He's against the minimum wage. Like at the first forum I went to this year, they were asking. It was the Step Up and Unite Here and forum, and they asked all the candidates to talk about $15 minimum wage. And Seth was like, I don't even know that we should have like minimum wage. And so that was kind of eye opening.
Yeah. Just not believing in a minimum wage at all is.
Well,
you have to do so much like mental gymnastics to
he
make
took
that work.
he took Econ 101 and he said, okay, if the supply curve goes this and the demand curve is that, and then the supply of labor is here, and if you set the minimum wage here, then it won't be at equilibrium, and thus it's bad. Like that's all he did. And this is why Econ 101 like poisons the brains of like millions of Americans every year. But
There's
anyway,
so many really, really super smart Econ 101 people out there too. There's Seth's other issue is Airbnb. Well, it's his other contrast with banks anyway was Airbnb. They asked him about that at the last forum, and it's gotten to a point where you can't be like openly pro Airbnb and run for office right now, but you can say things like, "Well, I don't know that you can tie it to the homestead exemption because that doesn't seem like it makes sense to me," and like.
the hell does that even mean?
Right. It just means that like he doesn't want to have meaningful regulation.
Right.
So you start this argument with people, in the online sphere, and you immediately get these supply and demand people who tell you that, well, if we just built more housing, it'd be fine.
I mean, it's true that if we built more housing, it would help.
But there's so many other things,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I mean, you have to make sure it's affordable, and Seth Bloom is not going to make sure that happens.
Right.
And, yeah. No, it's funny how those people are just they're like, no, it's very simple. Why don't you understand this very simple concept that's definitely the truth? It's so bizarre.
Yeah, so I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm terrified that people will be like, "Oh, that young man is handsome. I'm going to vote for him."
Well, there
like in grandma brain,
Yeah.
just like, "Oh, maybe that's a Midwestern."
there are
I'm sorry, it's a Midwestern thing that elderly women vote for young men based on their looks.
But with that noise.
Sure.
Oh,
yeah.
that one.
Okay. I buy it.
Okay.
There were a lot of candidates this year who decided not to put their face on all of their flyers and signage. Seth Bloom was not one of those candidates.
Right. Yeah, his face has been everywhere.
His smiling face is looking at you from every fence and garage and.
It's like he wants you
In
to
your
know
mail.
that he's the white guy in the race.
No, that is 100% why he's doing that.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other interesting thing. The Lens does these maps on election night where you can this is the best thing that ever happened to me in my life is that on election night I can look and see where, what neighborhood somebody's winning. Oh, wow, that's really super cool. And you can drill all the way down to the precinct level, and you could see, District B is the uptown district. So, as it gets further away from the river, you can see where the line of gentrification has moved further away from the river. It used to be
so
at
depressing.
St. Charles, and then it got to Carondelet. Now it's kind of up to around Dryads or something. It's going up.
Yeah.
So
Well, isn't that area between St. Charles and Dryads all Airbnbs anyway?
a lot of them are, man. They're I can tell you because I live in the zone there,
Yeah.
and
We all live in the zone.
Yeah,
We live in the zone now.
but that's the roller zone. That's the you go outside and there's people coming in and out with roller luggage.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Yeah, that Jane Place thing, Brianne said that that's the place where the most Airbnbs are showing up.
What, right there? Really?
Yeah, I think so.
I thought they were all over Tremay and Bywater and stuff.
They are, but I think the rate at which they're being added
Yeah.
is in Central City.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I've watched it.
Tremay's
happen
already
around me.
full. I mean,
Yeah.
they had that article a couple weeks ago where it was there were all the entire block except 2 houses were Airbnbs.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It
Good
was just,
God.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
That's really depressing, and it's
awful.
depressing that this municipal election, right, was an opportunity for us for New Orleanians to kind of organize around issues like housing and name something else that's really dragging people down.
Sewage and Water Board.
Sewage and Water Board is a big one. These are the things that the next city council and next mayor are going to really make decisions on that are going to affect everybody's life. And people should have had a voice in this, and almost none of these candidates really spoke to that at all. Mm-hmm. And when they did, they do it like LaToya Cantrell does, where she says well, we need to make sure that we're not being punitive towards the landlord community,
Right.
Oh,
which is the funniest thing. And also balance. She just says the word balance over and over again.
Yeah, because she's just trying to make both sides. She just can't make. She has no decisions on either side. She doesn't have any positions.
Right. It's none of this has been about any issue, right? It's just been about
it's all been about virtue signaling to various segments of New Orleans. I mean, this was your thing. This is your theory that I'm just parroting here, where
good.
each candidate started with their own kind of guaranteed block, and their platforms were irrelevant, and they were just using things to try and win over this narrowing slice. And some candidates did that better than others.
Well, yeah, I think that, the Cantrell campaign, to its credit, well, not to its credit, but if you're just scoring, politics, they actually went out and did the politics, right?
Sure.
So they started early, and they went on their listening tour, and they met with all the little neighborhood groups, and they met with all the little churches, and they went to the little businessmen's groups and stuff. And and they listened, and they talked about how, like, they didn't say anything. They would say things like, well, here's a great example. So crime. Latoya's big thing that they kept putting out was nothing stops a job. Nothing stops
a job like a bullet.
Yes,
nothing
also
true.
That will fucking happen. Nothing stops a bullet like a job. Nothing stops a job like a bullet.
Oh,
wow, that's Lee Harvey Oswald's campaign.
I'd vote for him.
I would too.
That's a completely different thing.
But that's just because I'm like one of those Midwestern ladies who only votes for people based on their looks.
Yeah, and their history of visiting the Soviet Union
On their honeymoon or whatever.
Nothing stops a job like a bullet. Boy, wow. Crime, boy, I don't know.
That's the title of this episode, by the way.
No, but like, wasn't that a line from like Jesse Jackson or something?
It was a line from this anti-gang activist in the 90s in Los Angeles, where Latoya is from.
Oh.
And that they borrowed, but for whatever reason, she got a lot of credit for, like, brain geniusly coming up with it, because we don't write about anything in detail or honestly in the city. The thing about this is that it speaks to communities that are, besieged with crime and poverty, because it doesn't promise anybody anything, doesn't give anybody a plan. It just says, oh, she understands our problems.
Yeah.
It also says to the uptown conservatives and the racist white people that, oh wait, this is someone who's going to make those people get a job.
Right.
So it's like speaks to a lot of people at one time.
Get a
and
mysterious
says
job that the city isn't going to fund, and that I'm certainly not going to give them from my company. But
absolutely
some job will mysteriously appear somewhere.
Right. The jobs that we have are going to prisoners. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. No, it's just so weird because even when when any of the candidates really, I guess any of the mayoral candidates that say anything of any substance, you can't even believe it, and nobody does. Like, nobody's out here thinking, yeah, I really think that Latoya Cantrell is going to do something about Airbnbs, or not that, because she's backed off on all that too, but like, nobody thinks any of this is going to happen.
And the reason for it is that none of it came from the ground up, right? Like, there was no, like, there's a lot of, like, nascent organizing going on in the city of New Orleans right now. There's, you guys have been doing DSA for most of the last year. They're like, we at the last DSA meeting, Step Up came and talked, right? Mm-hmm. And Unite Here is in town, and they're making progress organizing a lot of the hospitality workers.
Yep.
And there are several other organizations that have been doing stuff, especially since Trump got elected, that, like, people kind of woke up and said, hey, fuck, I gotta go do something. They're looking for shit to do and looking for, ways to engage politically, who have not been able to touch the electoral process. Mm-hmm. It's just happened above them in, like, this other universe. And that's been the story of this whole year in New Orleans, where, as in other parts of the country, just this week, there was this big, like, anti-Trump reaction in a lot of, like, these, the Virginia races, the Philadelphia municipal race, the New York stuff. There's all over the country, people are talking about how, like, there were DSA candidates winning places, right?
15 DSA members won state and local races, mostly local races, on Tuesday. And then more still were endorsed by DSA chapters, like Larry Krasner in Philadelphia, who you mentioned, for district attorney. I think the appropriate analogy, by the way, to Larry Krasner winning the DA's race in Philadelphia is if New Orleans elected Bill Quigley as our district attorney. I think that's, like, the magnitude we're talking about here, like, of how much of a reformer, like, how much of a thorn in the side of, like, prosecutors he has been. Like, that's the kind of level of disruption that we're talking about. And seeing that in other cities makes me wonder, like, who are real benches, Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's, like, we have a lot of amazing activists who just haven't been running for things. But we need to, like, maybe think a little, like, expand our utopian vision, as you said the other day.
Yeah, I think it's another. There's more to it than that, though. I think the part of it is just like straight up just the numbers and the stakes of because I don't think all of those had a major mayoral race. Although I mean there were, But I think it's important. I don't know. I've been feeling kind of bummed about it as like a missed opportunity. But there's going to be a lot more. Like even just like the next election. You know, who's to say? We were talking before this started about Abramson's spot. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, so
that
the next
the
next big ones are that Helena Moreno's empty seat.
Right.
I
I declared my candidacy for that already, but then it turns out I don't live in the right place. But you do, don't you, Allie?
I don't think I do.
Okay.
Really? I thought
No,
she
I'm
was
in
the city.
94. I'm in
Okay.
Hilford East District.
Okay. Pat has walked in the room to say that you're correct.
Oh,
right? So-
thanks, Pat.
But that one would be, I mean, that's a real opportunity. Like getting somebody good in Helena Moreno's space. It's going to be important too.
I think, what's his name? From Louisiana Budget Project?
Jan Moeller?
Yeah, Jan Moeller was writing today about how it's actually a super important seat because it has the Superdome in it and like downtown and like it has, it's the kind of seat that gives you a lot of control over spending outside the budgetary process.
Yeah, that's a good
so
point.
it's actually a really important seat, and whoever gets it should be a good fight over it.
Right.
Basically,
So that's a special election that's going to happen, I think, in March or something like either the March or April.
that is coming
cycle.
up quick.
Yeah.
We got to get on it. We got to find somebody. We got to get on it.
And
So if you live in District 93, get in touch with us.
I mean, that's
Bonus
the,
points if you're a socialist.
that's the next opportunity locally, and that's I guess what I'm talking about is like local politics is where it's supposed to start, right? Like, and that's what everybody started preaching after the 2016 debacle was like, well, if you care about Trump becoming president, well then go outside and figure out who your state rep is and who your city council person is, and see what you can do in that field. And it sounds like it's happening other places, and like I've been talking about New Orleans is like a missed opportunity, but I don't really want to blame any of the organizing groups or the activists because I just don't think that there's two things. One, I don't think the timing is wrong.
Yeah.
Like I think that if this had happened, if this election were happening next year, maybe we'd be talking about some groups that are ready to like, get out and put out a candidate or like make an endorsement or something. And also just like our political club is just too tight and too closed and just didn't have its ear to the ground at all.
Yeah.
And like the worst example of that is the Charbonnet campaign, where they were the Clinton campaign of the New Orleans mayoral race. Like they sat in their room and said, well, here's what you do. You wait till you make the runoff because you're going to make the runoff because you have all this money. And then you just lay whatever bullshit on these people that you possibly can come up with. And this time it was the credit card thing,
right?
That nobody cares about because
cares.
You haven't been around telling people what you're about.
Yeah,
like you haven't.
I have no idea what her platform is at all, except for there's nothing about immigration or whatever.
All I know about her platform is that she really likes Leon Cannizzaro, which makes her unelectable in my mind.
Yeah,
and the minds of so many other people. And it's like, how can you misread New Orleans so much that you think that Leon Cannizzaro is somebody that people want to or care about or like is important in you getting elected? It's mind-boggling.
It isn't even accurate to say that Desiree Charbonnet likes Leon. It's not even like that. It's that they are in the same sphere of people who rely on the same funders and the same groups and historically have been in the same corner.
Right.
When it comes to this stuff that like they would be his endorsement would be valuable to her campaign.
Right.
And even though like
I guess it's signaling to people who aren't me.
I mean,
Definitely.
I honestly think it's just, it is really out of touch. Like, I think that it comes from people who, like, because there are a lot of people in the state who love Leon Cannizzaro, like on this, like, there are people who really praise his work. Like, in Jefferson Parish, I feel like they love him. I don't know.
Really?
I could be wrong about that, but I feel like they do. No, they probably think he's bad. I don't know. Because he's here. But I think Yeah, it's not that she likes them. It's just that somebody thought it would be a great idea to really like associate them with each other because somebody out there really likes them and thinks it's a really good move.
I mean, the other thought on that is that I think it's almost worse than like thinking it's a good idea. There are a lot of people who might look at that and say, well, wow, this person who's running is a former judge, and regardless of what she was able to do as a reform-minded judge, this guy is a district attorney who's done horrible things. He's put rape victims in jail. He's issued fake subpoenas, like all this other terrible stuff that he's illegal, like disbarable stuff that he's done.
Yeah.
And yet it makes the point that the whole system is fucked.
Yeah.
It really drives home
Yeah.
the fact that like even if Desiree said like would point to her accomplishments as a judge, which I still haven't seen her do, by the way. I mean, like, it's not like she's out there with ads talking about what a great judge she was.
Not in her ads, but like she does talk about it sometimes during the debates and things.
But like even it undermines that argument because it says that all I'm going to do is tinker around the edges because again, the net balance of like what I was doing as a judge and what Leon is doing as district attorney is still shit for everybody.
Yeah.
Right.
It's very like the Clinton campaign in that way, in that it limits what you can expect from them.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is more of the shitty same that you already have.
Which is what a lot of people want.
Yeah, because a lot of people make a lot of money off of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not a lot of people.
I don't think
A
she's
few
going to
people.
win. I mean, I don't think it's enough people for her to win.
Well, she's not going to win.
She's not gonna win.
I mean, she's going to... I think Latoya's
She's
going to
already
get like...
she's already in debt. She's already out of money.
Yeah, that was this week. The last finance reports came out.
I've just been ignoring the news for the past week, so I'm actually really unprepared to be on this.
Yeah, well, this is the smartest podcast in town. We're like up on top of shit
my
all
God.
the time.
I mean,
Did the table get you?
I just got a Charlie horse.
Oh,
my
shit.
God.
No, I'm fine.
Do we need
too
to pause
much.
the...
It's too much.
No,
The show is too much.
I don't think we have any bananas. I'm sorry.
no, I'm all right. I'm kind of like the human version of the '94 Toyota Tercel, where like stuff doesn't really work anymore.
Just
and
like fingernails falling off.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
Okay.
It's a wonder I can get from like place to place without falling apart. Anyway, do we? We're at like 45 minutes. Do we want to take a break or do we want to push on through the next
let's
thing?
take a quick break, I guess.
Okay. We'll take a break from this and we'll come back with
Something.
some shit, whatever. All right.
Look what some car makers have been offering. Air-conditioned glove compartment? What kind of feature is that? How about a feature like, won't leave me stranded on the side of the road? As in a reputability? Hey, you'll find it in one place. Toyota Tercel. The right amount of car for the right amount of money. And look, best model in its price class and initial quality. I get that from J.D. Power and Associates. They get it from Tercel owners. And that's a feature you won't find on any Windows sticker.
He's gonna hit record and then be like, I want to tell you about this article in the Advocate.
Wait, so
Wait, can I tell you the story of the time I was in Model UN?
yeah, okay.
Hit record.
Because Pat just...
Just hit record.
I'm recording now.
Okay, because Pat just brought up Model UN as a joke.
No, we're not.
Yeah, we are. We're totally recording.
Are we?
Yes.
Because I don't want to tell this joke for just you guys.
Just fucking
It's not
say
a
the
joke,
story.
it's a story. No, well, it's really not that interesting. I was just trying to avoid the okay. Anyway, so I was a Model UN in high school, but I got kicked out because I called a girl a fascist so many times that she started crying at one of our
One of us. One of us.
conventions or whatever. And then I was told I was too mean. And I
never
haven't
liked you more.
changed. This was in 10th grade.
You were Godwin's out of Model UN.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know what that means.
Godwin's Law?
Yeah, so
Is that the thing where if you go straight to Hitler or whatever?
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, no, I pioneered that.
Sorry.
Back then people called it Marone's Law.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's why they kicked me out.
Now you've been totally fucking
On the terms of that law.
big-footed by Godwin.
I don't care. It's
Yeah.
not a very good law. It's kind of
They
embarrassing.
need to put that on the Welcome to Arkansas signs, like home of Marone's Law. Marone's Law was invented here.
Yeah, take off Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
Well, also we're in a post-Godwin
Fuck that guy.
environment nowadays, anyhow, because
Because everybody is Nazis.
right, everybody's there's actual Nazis, so it's fine to call them that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're verified by Twitter, apparently.
Right. Like
She really did. I mean, I just want to say, like, she really did have a lot of fascist policies that she was trying to pass with the UN.
Oh wait, you're still pissed.
Well, I
You're
was
like,
just
"Fuck
right
that,
then,
fuck
and
that."
I'm right now. That's all.
That Nazi bitch. What the hell?
It was crazy.
Was she blonde?
I can't remember. I don't remember what she. I remember that she was much prettier than me, which wasn't hard in that. I mean, in my life ever, but specifically then. And
High school sucks.
I know. I don't even. I don't remember what country. All I remember is she was trying to restrict free speech in such a way that I felt like she needed to be called out as a fascist multiple times until she cried.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you so much.
Oh my god.
It's one of my greatest accomplishments. I peaked in 10th
beautiful.
grade.
You didn't punch her though, so
No, of course not.
maybe if you could find her now.
No.
Oh.
She's probably still a fascist.
That's a whole.
Oh, I
discussion.
see. That's what your point is if I saw her now, would I punch her because she's a Nazi? And the answer is no, I don't punch people because it sounds like it hurts.
I value my hands. I make my living with these hands. Damn it, that's an Arrested Development. Happens every time.
It's like a tick with you, like.
Yeah, because nothing in my brain is original content. It's all just been force fed in there by.
Oh, come on.
Funnier
It's
people.
not
Give me a
what I
break. No, you made that really funny joke earlier. What was it? It was about Justice, what's his name?
Gorsuch?
Justice Gorsuch. I haven't been able to speak at all.
Sorry.
You made that joke about Justice Gorsuch.
Say it 5 times
Giving-
fast. Justice Gorsuch.
Giving guns personhood or whatever.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. We all laughed so much at that, and nobody will ever know because we weren't recording then.
They kind of know now.
Yeah,
Wait, it's
it
like
was
you-
really funny, you guys.
Tim and them, you had to be there.
Should I explain the joke? No, I'm
No.
not going to do
I
that.
think it explains itself, really.
But there was another thing we wanted to make jokes about, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so hey, so there's a story in the Advocate.
Oh,
I love it when I forecast the future.
So this is from 2 days ago, and it is about our Attorney General Jeff Landry, who is going to be governor someday.
don't say that.
And he's in the process of becoming governor now. Like every day he gets up and says, how can I make, today's breakfast about me becoming governor? And so anything that he's up to or does or touches or whatever, it just becomes part of his ongoing campaign to run for governor. And which is like happening 2 years from now? Not even that, right? Because 2019 is the year,
Yeah,
but really it's going to
2019.
start at the end of next year. And nothing's going to get done between now and then, really. So this is a story about Jeff.
It's just Jeff's all the way down.
Yeah, there's so many Jeffs.
Too many. Get rid of them.
Um,
Sorry. No offense.
that's right.
But yes, get rid of all.
There's a list. So what he's doing here, this is a partnership between the Attorney General's office and Blue Cross Blue Shield and the National
great.
Association of Drug Diversion Investigations.
Jesus.
What
Natty?
Natty, N-A-D-D-I.
All
Very
right.
good. They are, they have boxes, right? Like where, like if you turn your ankle and you have like been prescribed like some Percocets and stuff and you don't use them all, like don't just keep them for your own, personal enjoyment or like to sell or whatever. Just bring them to Jeff and put them in his box. He's got these boxes that you can put prescriptions in, and they will take them away and destroy
I
them.
should have thought of that.
So instead of making a
gonna
rule
do
that.
that.
The doctors can only prescribe so many pain pills, they said instead maybe just put a box somewhere
right.
and people will just put the drugs in the box.
And like Blue Cross Blue Shield, instead of not charging me $600 a month or whatever for health insurance, they decided to spend money on bribing Landry with this stupid program that isn't going to do anything.
Yeah,
They
wow.
could save the money. I don't know if that's
Are
true.
the boxes decorated somehow?
There's a photograph. It is a
Like, are they
white-
painted with clowns or something?
It's a white box It has some. It has the seal of what I assume to be the Attorney General on the front. It's got the
Cool.
pelican
So it
and
makes it
everything.
look like you're going to get arrested for putting something in it.
Yeah,
It looks
there are
very
cameras
much-
all over it.
I have to say, it looks a lot like a book drop.
Okay.
So
So people will put empty beers in it.
people will put the empty beer cans in there. Yeah.
No one is going to put drugs in these.
Landry encouraged residents to do a fall cleaning of medicine cabinets and drop any unneeded prescription drugs in the box, which is in the lobby of the Baton Rouge Police Headquarters.
Are you kidding me?
On Airline Highway.
Oh my god! Hey everybody, come on in. This is definitely not a trap.
Oh my
In the
God.
lobby of the cop headquarters.
Guys, don't. I just gotta make a quick stop at the police headquarters to drop off my drugs. Like,
Yep, and I got some used needles. I'll just pop those in there too.
what the fuck?
Kate, you said a minute ago, like, I wish I'd have thought of this.
Yeah, so then I can put them out in front of my house or something, and people can give me all of their drugs.
That's right.
Oh, like a little free library, but for
Yes,
drugs.
where everybody gives me their leftover pharmaceuticals, and I just get to take them.
Yeah.
Whatever. I think
the-
that's great.
Like a fishbowl full of mystery pills.
Sure, like the teens do,
Yeah.
right? Isn't that a thing that
I saw
was
that on a
teen
CSI
rumor?
episode one time. It ended really well for them.
Yeah, it's going to end really well for me too.
Yeah.
I want people to put them in their original bottle so I can make sure I know what I'm getting into. But if you want to drop, listen, if you're in New Orleans and this is a problem for you, and you want a safe place to drop off your leftover pharmaceuticals, I will just get in touch with the show. They'll get you in touch with me, and you can come to my house and you can give me pretty much whatever.
You can plug your Twitter too if you want.
Yeah. Well, I don't.
Or no.
It's always complicated to plug my Twitter because my Twitter handle is so difficult. But, you can find me. Just Google me. I'm very Googleable. And you can probably find my address, and please bring me your drugs.
Just
you know what, pharmaceutical
internet
or
stalk
not,
me
you know?
until you're comfortable enough to bring me
DM
drugs.
your drugs to Caitlin.
It's hilarious that they put this in the lobby of the Baton Rouge Police Headquarters, but it also reminds me of the safe haven laws about like if you have a baby but then you decide you can't be a mom and you want to like bring your baby to the fire station or the hospital, you can bring it there and nobody will like arrest you for abandoning your child. And I think this is like similar, but
But
also
it's cops, so it's
but
definitely
it's
not
cops,
safe.
so it's totally a trap.
It's a bait bike, but for drugs. It
Because they also value opioids more than human children.
I will not arrest you.
the-
Just putting that out there.
There's just probably like 6 different like cameras pointing at this thing.
right.
And,
Who
and
are
I
these
wonder,
people?
I wonder if they can be monitored by citizens too. You know, sort of the way that like random people can just like watch the border. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
if they're just bored or whatever, and they can like report something. It's like they have a lobby in front of the drug box, and like some like jackasses watching on their webcam on their lunch break at like Blue Cross headquarters, being like,
I'm gonna make sure we spent this money right.
yeah, somebody's gonna come in today, and they're gonna like, and then they like, oh, and they're like on the phone, they're like ready to hit send. Oh, I guess he was just filing a report. Never mind. Bye. They're so ready for the excitement.
Yeah, that's so funny.
They put it in the lobby.
Right. There's other boxes. There's similar boxes are available in Assumption, Livingston, and Point Coupé, St. James, Tangipahoa parishes. So,
Are they all in police?
it doesn't say, but you can find them if you go to intheepidemicla.org, and there will be a listing of all of the boxes that are available for you to drop your drugs.
All right, here's the fun part of the show where I do something on the phone that you can't see.
But again, according to Caitlin's great disruption plan, like if you don't want to be monitored or arrested,
Yeah.
you can just bring the boxes.
Just bring them. I have a mail slot, so you can just open the mail slot and slip them through. Makes it really easy. We don't have any cameras or anything outside of my house. Well, I don't think that's true because it's the Bywater, so people have a lot of cameras. But yeah, bring me your drugs. I want them for myself to take with my body.
It's really hard to find this list.
Yeah,
Very-
they don't want your drugs that bad. I
It
guess.
doesn't seem to be.
Because they know nobody's ever going to look at it. We're the only people that will ever look at this list, if you find it.
Oh, I just want you guys to know that representatives from the Louisiana Attorney General's office are always available to meet with students, parents groups, athletic teams, and addiction centers to further the conversation about the consequences of opioid abuse.
Ooh, you guys should invite them on the show.
Do you think we could get Jeff Landry on our show?
Get Jeff Landry on the show.
Jeff
To
Landry,
talk
come
about
on the
opioids?
show.
Trick him into thinking there's a lot of teens here.
Or drugs.
So
And drugs.
We'll-
Teens
we'll-
that love
teen drugs.
We will bring our drugs to Jeff Landry if he comes on the show.
And then
Yes.
we will ask him where the list is.
Wait, you
because
guys have,
it's not on
but
his
you could also
website.
just bring them to me.
Oh, yeah. Okay. The drugs that we're not giving to Caitlin this evening we'll save for Attorney General Landry when he comes on the show. That sounds fair.
I mean, it just seems like people are going to they're just going to take that stuff. I mean, they already do that with other things.
Yeah, I mean, right. Like, it's like a bike share.
Oh, no, I mean, like, police officers will go into the box and take the drugs.
That's so easy.
Yeah.
Because it's free. They don't have to, like, do any paperwork or anything. It's just, like, no questions asked.
Yeah.
Here comes some free drugs.
Right.
Then, yeah.
Except that one guy at Blue Cross Blue Shield who's watching it all day. Mm-hmm. And he'll know, but he won't care.
So what's funny to me about this is, like, so, Landry, I talked about this at the beginning, like, Landry is making everything about him running for governor. Well, like, his spin on the whole thing is that, well, this is his way of fighting the opioid epidemic, which, incidentally, is caused by the fact that John Bel Edwards expanded Medicaid.
Yeah.
Meaning that,
Wow.
meaning that, and here's the quote from him. He says, "We already know that we're having an epidemic. So when we put a program in place that about doubles the amount of free prescriptions available for
Holy
people,
shit.
think about that." He
Wait.
says,
I'm just asking questions.
right? That's literally like putting drugs on the street for free.
He said that?
That's what Landry said.
And
It's
Blue
the next
Cross Blue
one.
Shield is sponsoring this?
Apparently.
Because, like, they have a lot at stake. Like, the Medicaid expansion has been good for them.
Right. I think that's Landry freestyling at the
Yeah.
launch.
I know, but they
He's
should
just,
abandon
like,
the project.
Criminally stupid.
Yeah. It's really embarrassing. I think Jeff Landry is one of the people that I think likes Cannizzaro. I think that's one of the people I was thinking about.
But he's beefed with him too because he set up his own task force, because New Orleans isn't getting the job done.
True.
I got to bring in my own people to, arrest people for riding a bike the wrong way down the street. And what else? What other picky and things?
Drug possession. Yeah.
Yeah. Put them
Yeah.
all in boxes. Also, why can't you just flush them? I mean, I know there's some water quality issues with that, but why can't you just flush them?
Yeah,
No,
don't.
because we are getting drugs in the water now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but opioids in the water, it's like, come on, everybody's a little,
Why you feel so good now
Just
every
either
day.
throw them out or give them to you, I guess.
Yeah, that's the only option. It's the only reasonable option.
As usual, I think it's going to be funny and then it just ends up depressing.
Well, I
No,
mean,
it's funny.
We live in hell.
no, it'll be hilarious when Landry's governor. So just look forward to that.
You don't know that. It hasn't happened.
The other thing that was I thought was going to be funny, but ended up being really depressing was this article I read this week about kids' YouTube and these videos that children are watching. There was this post on Medium that was going around this week. Did you guys?
You're
see
going
that?
to have to explain it to us.
Yeah.
Okay, so children watch a lot of YouTube videos, and
What?
I know, right? And they you think about the characters that are popular to children, like Cars and Elsa from Frozen and Moana and all these people. And there are other I don't hang out with kids too much, so I don't really know these things. But there are shows that they watch that are just all cartoony.
There are
stuff.
children's shows.
There are children's shows.
Right. You remember from when you were a kid.
Yeah, but
and
I
they
watched.
had the shows.
But I watched Muppet Babies. I mean, I don't.
Right, which was one of them.
Yeah. So what is happening apparently on YouTube now is that there are channels that are official that have the real content of the Peppa Pig and these other people.
Yeah.
But then there are also all of these other content creators that are basically just taking all these characters and doing really weird things with them. So I think the appropriate analogy is you might have seen this online where people find Amazon listings of phone cases that are just random stock photos.
Oh yeah.
That like superimposed, because it's not a real person creating all of these cases for sale. It's just algorithms. So it'll be like a stock photo of like a syringe, and you can buy that, or like a dirty sock in a puddle, and you can buy that phone case.
Yeah. Or like a lot of women in the workplace looking stern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like not even ironically, just
Buy
like that came up in the algorithm, and
Just-
it's for sale now.
Right.
But the same thing is actually happening with video content for children.
So this is happening by accident?
It's happening like it's gotten to the point where nobody actually knows who's creating these videos.
Okay.
Wow.
And so they're doing it's basically like these characters are like being like manipulated in really weird, creepy ways. So like they'll interact, and then they'll they'll all like drown or something, or like the like really weird, or they'll just like their heads will move, and it'll be really weird and creepy in a way that like if you're a small child is very traumatizing to watch.
Yeah.
And like when what caused me to like think about this was I thought about the things that creeped me out when I was a kid, such as listening to the music of Genesis, which had weird, scary, like pipe banging noises that freaked me out. And I think about like if I had watched these videos, I would have been terrified.
So wait,
But the whole point is that like these videos are getting millions and millions and millions and millions of views. And the way YouTube brings content up is that there's always this column on the right of like up next,
right.
and it's just feeding these videos in no real rhyme or reason
So wait,
to
but
children to watch over and over.
Yeah.
but the issue with the videos themselves is just that the animation is a little trippy. Like it's not
No.
like, well, what is it
It
exactly?
sounds like a little bit graphic, right? Like,
Yeah, it's not just trippy, it's like weird and sometimes graphic. Yeah, sometimes like horrific. I actually didn't want to watch all of the videos, but they were described as like there was one where like Peppa Pig goes to the dentist, but then like she like throws up and like just like a really like
But so like actual
Like
things are
traumatic things.
deliberately happening that
Yeah.
are weird. Okay, because like you were like I thought what you were describing was like the stuff that trips you out as a kid, which could be anything.
right.
Like-
Genesis, for instance,
Right.
which I think is important that we address the fact that as a child you were afraid of Genesis.
I know, especially because as this listeners of this podcast know that I'm firmly a fan of Phil Collins at this date.
So you're talking about like the Land of Confusion videos with all the puppets and things, or
I'm talking about like you remember that song Tonight, Tonight, Tonight?
Yes,
that
yes.
scared the shit out of me when I was a kid.
I don't remember what the video was for.
I don't.
that,
It wasn't
though.
the video.
it was just the
Just the song.
the song.
Just the song.
song.
That
It
sold
was a
so
very-
many sodas and things.
It was a very atmospheric song.
I loved Genesis when I was a kid. I would beg to listen to Genesis. Maybe because I was so disturbed.
But
Maybe
this
I
is
was-
Phil Collins Genesis, which
Yeah.
is the accessible Genesis,
Right,
and
that's
not
like
the
the
Peter
gentle
Gabriel
kind.
Genesis, which is the
Right.
actual trippy Genesis.
Yeah.
So, wow.
Well, there was a lot of like anything that sounded vaguely like electronica industrial just like made me feel weird when I was like
it
a
makes
small
me
child.
angry now,
Aw.
but you know.
I would have to listen to other like happier music to calm down before I could go to sleep.
That's probably good.
I was a weirdo. I mean, it's fine, but like I just think about like kids are like weird like that, and
Yeah, kids are weird. They have reactions like that.
yeah,
sometimes.
it's not
So
an
we-
abnormal kid thing.
But we don't know
It sounds
who's...
ludicrous as an adult.
It's hilarious.
Thank you, thank you.
No problem. If you ever think of anything else you were afraid of as a child that's similar to that, I would like to know immediately.
Okay, I'll rack my brain.
What I remember being a kid is animation was bad. So, like, you know, the sound never matched the mouth, and like things looked weird. So I can think of a lot of weird cartoons that I watched that would not have like traumatized me for having seen them.
And I don't think like general weirdness is the problem. Like
Okay.
like there's some things that are probably weird in My Neighbor Totoro, but they're like wonderful.
Right. It's a great example. Actually.
Yeah.
But you're also like not a little kid who like accidentally stumbled across like a video of Peppa Pig being tortured like,
Right.
in the dentist stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. I mean that's the difference. So it's just that was a weird thing that happened on the internet.
I think it's pretty funny. I'm going to be honest with you.
Okay.
So I think that pranks that people play on kids are really funny.
The thing that creeps me out though is that no one knows who is creating this stuff or why.
Yeah.
And so it's like children,
Putin. It's
millions of children,
Could be.
Yeah, it's definitely Putin.
millions of children are like watching this stuff, and it's created by no one.
Yeah.
Like that's a very weird like hell world that we're living in.
Yeah,
It's just-
for sure.
That's the internet, though. That's just normal.
Well, I mean,
But usually there's usually workers behind things.
Okay.
Like there were like animators and workers who created My Neighbor Totoro.
Right.
Like that was created by someone.
Well, someone obviously.
It wasn't an algorithm of like random
things
servers
that happen.
in Vietnam or something who were like taking different things and putting them together and just auto publishing it.
Yeah.
And then it gets 35 million views.
Right. It's not
by
Putin.
little tiny minds that are waiting to absorb all kinds of information.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
It's just
Yeah,
a
wow.
weird thing to think about.
That is really depressing.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I have a way to make it very hopeful, but it's going to take 20 minutes, so I'm not going to go into it.
No time for hope.
I have a way to say this is actually good, but I'm
It's
not.
not.
It's going to take too
If
long.
it takes 20 minutes, it's
no.
I bet I can get us there quicker.
Oh yeah.
And it's something along the lines of I'd rather watch content created by no one through an algorithm than suffer through the third Marvel reboot of such and such superhero because at least I'm not being marketed to.
You're already going where I'm going.
Yeah.
So like,
God
what I'm saying,
damn it.
it's the wrench is already being thrown back into the machine.
Mm-hmm.
Like they can't really predict what you're going to do because shit is just random. And the algorithm doesn't really know what people want. It thinks children want severed heads and whatever the hell you're
children
seeing.
do want that, by the way.
They probably do.
Some of them.
Right, but it doesn't know. Nobody
Not
knows.
Child Alley.
Something
No, I would have been scared.
something mysterious is
I wanted
happening,
Muppet Babies.
and that's kind of great, right? So, I think the conclusion here is this is definitely good. This is
God.
Yes, it
At
is
least it's not
definitely
a-
good.
At least the brands are murdering each other now.
right.
Hopefully, well, but it's not because who knows what it is. Who
Right.
knows if it's? It could be though. It could be. Maybe it is a corporate thing where they're trying to scare kids away from Peppa Pig because they want more views on. I don't know what other.
But if it's like
cartoons
Peppa
are.
versus Moana or something, it's like, well, okay, go ahead.
I would watch that.
Are you the one making the videos?
Maybe.
It's
it.
true.
Not
Any
yet.
of us could be. But I don't
man.
think it's me. I don't.
Do we want to go into So all of a sudden?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Do
We
you
gotta
have
wi-
something?
We're gonna wind this down.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Someone else go.
Okay, Caitlin, do you
I'm
have
gonna pass for now. We'll come back.
I did a lot of things this week so far.
Oh, good. It's good to know you've
recently,
had an active week.
Yeah, so it's hard to say. Is it weird if I list my own show as my so-so?
No, I would love to hear about your own show.
Okay. Well, we did fake news yesterday, me and the rest of my comedy troupe, Dean's List.
No, I like this show. I've seen it a couple of times.
Thank you.
Yeah, we usually talk about Dean's List stuff as stuff that we've done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
usually
because
it's
we
like
all do the same stuff.
Jeff and I go to your show.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes. Well,
So
then I
you-
shouldn't talk about it
No,
because
you
it's well-worn
performed- you
territory.
performed one, right.
Yeah, I performed on it. It was a lot of fun. 2 people left in the middle of it, which was great. I love
Aw.
when people leave in the middle of a show because then you can make
Wow.
them the common enemy and everybody unites against them, and then there's like camaraderie.
Is that what you did?
audience.
Like they walked out and then you just said, "Hey, everybody, let's talk about these guys who just walked out."
Well, we were doing a segment called This Week in the Class War. And
Love
they
it.
left in the middle of that, and then I said, I'm sorry if this is too graphic, it is a war segment. And people liked that, and then they were like, they were like, yes, we're more into this now because we are the people that stayed for this very graphic segment where you used black and white alt-text slides to explain terrible things that are happening in the federal government at a comedy show, because we don't know what that means anymore.
We don't know what's funny and what's real. Yeah, you were telling us earlier that a lot of the audience this time happened to be like out-of-towners, or like
That was my read on them. I think they were tourists.
Okay.
Who had come by because it's a comedy theater.
Didn't know what they were getting into exactly.
Yeah, I mean, luckily we had like a pretty national news-based episode this time, so it wasn't too...
Because it's usually hyper-local. Like
yeah, we try to make it pretty local.
Yeah.
The last one was especially so. The one that you were on.
Yeah. Well.
But yeah, but this one we really couldn't find anything. Like, we were maybe thinking about the Sewerage and Water Board stuff, but it's like, that's just like so... It's not even boring, it's something else, you know? It's like, it's hard to joke about because it's just like so exhausting almost.
Yes, everything is so exhausting.
It's utilities based also, which actually is boring inherently.
That's boring, you guys? I don't think it's...
I do think it's funny that the Sewerage and Water Board just put out like that contract for like $500,000 for that company to tell them what went wrong or what's going wrong in the Sewerage and Water Board, but then they had a meeting where everybody just volunteered to come for free and yell it at them instead. They could have saved so much money.
You know what? This is my new service that I'm offering them. I will tell them for $1 million what's wrong with them. And if they give it to me, I will tell them, you gave me $1 million to come here and talk to you.
Yes!
And they can't take it back because that's right.
And then you can tell them about how, cause and effect is a lie because because dialectical materialism is a real thing.
Right.
And all these systems overlap and causes and effects are overdetermined. And yeah. I'll tell them that you can't actually get to a root cause analysis.
You're coming with me.
Yeah.
You get half of it.
Okay,
All
cool.
right.
Yeah, I like that. It's like a real Bonnie and Clyde type thing.
Yep.
I feel like there's got to be some like it's hard. Why can't you make like jokes about a utility? When
I just couldn't do it. I tried so hard.
They really deal with shit. Like
no, it seems like it should be right there.
There should be so many good poop jokes like right there, and yet
sewerage is one of the words.
Yeah.
Sewerage.
And yet people often say sewage, which is incorrect.
Yeah.
They don't. It's the sewerage.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a difference, or is it just like a specific name for a thing?
The sewerage is the pipes. The sewage is what flows through them.
The process of operating the sewer is the sewerage.
Okay.
Whereas the sewage is the content that flows through the sewer.
That's literally what I just said.
Right.
But okay.
Right.
No, it's really important that
Just
every time
making
you
sure
make
that-
a point, somebody else repeats it.
Oh, we're good at that.
The
That's
question,
that's our routine.
though, is then, I mean, you can see why people would be confused, because water is also what flows through pipes. It's not like the pipes and sewerage board. What I'm saying is, the first thing we need to do is change the name.
Caitlin, we are unusual in that we do not have a combined sewer system. So in a lot of cities, like older cities, their drainage system and their sewerage systems are combined, and so when it rains too hard, they have to let all of the sewage overflow with the stormwater.
We don't have it like that?
No, we have separate systems.
So why do we have to boil our goddamn water all the time?
Because of power generation issues, maintaining water pressure in the water system. So we actually have 3 systems.
Well, that sounds like it's bad too, I guess. Or is it good? It's good that the sewage doesn't flow up into the city.
It's better because cities like Philadelphia that have a combined system have to spend tons and tons of money on green infrastructure, basically, to keep their stormwater out of their sewerage system.
But also, wouldn't it be better if... I mean, that's stupid. I'm not even going to go
It would
down
also
that
be
path.
beneficial if we did the same thing to try and keep water out of our drainage system, because then we wouldn't have to spend so much on electricity to power said drainage system.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, our drainage needs to be on all the time because...
See, this is why you can't make jokes about it.
I know. God, because I get so fucking, pedantic about it.
Well,
No,
I can tell you
it's
about
impossible.
I can tell you about the last time we were concerned about the system being privatized, which was back in the early 2000s, when branding expert Ray Nagin gave a speech where he declared that what we're going to do is we're going to privatize Sewage and Water Board, and we're going to bottle our municipal water and sell it to other cities because they can't wait to get a hold of this delicious water that won't be any different from it. It'll be water bottled here. And we're going to call it, and he said it was going to be called Crescent City Clear. Because
Oh my God.
you don't want to put on the label Sewage and Water Board
Right.
because people would be turned off by that.
Yeah, so the word sewerage again is very bad.
Right.
Wow.
So, Ray was an idea man, and he was all about that kind of thing.
Was it going to be a public bottling plant? I mean, like a privatize the Sewerage and Water Board, but then have a public entity that creates this.
I don't
No,
think
some guy was going to profit off of it, but he was going to send a percentage of it back to Ray,
Yeah.
and then the brand would be out there.
Yeah, it was going to be Troy
Powerful
Henry.
brand.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that makes
so-
sense.
But Ray didn't really do the math. Like he just came up with the story to tell people.
Yeah, that sounds like the kind of idea you'd have like in the shower and then just like never think about again. Yeah, that's a pretty good thing.
And yet Ray Nagin's special talent was he like took that public. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty good. Yeah, so that was where are we in this show here? Oh, that was the
So-sos.
so-so. That was
Yeah.
how did we get on this? Allie, do
It's
you have
good.
one yet?
So I'm remembering also that I haven't done anything lately because I was like home all weekend
Oh, come on.
with a cough.
That's
so
a thing. That's
I wa-
doing something.
I watched a lot of college football and it was great.
Oh yeah.
I don't think I've talked about like how this is more of a sports thing than a so-so thing, but I don't think I've talked about how fucking good Notre Dame is this year and how much fun it has been.
Please
playing.
talk about that because first of all, I'm upset that we have not had enough sports content
We
in the
haven't
show
had
this
any
year.
sports content.
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of sucks. So yeah, go talk
because-
about Notre Dame.
Notre Dame is really good. We kicked Southern Cal's ass 49-14, which is a game that I've been waiting for about 15 years. So that
Yeah,
was
and
really
how are
fun.
they good? Like all of a sudden, like what is going on?
They were. So last year we went 4-8, which a lot of people had a lot of fun with. We had
Right.
a lot of great, wonderful 4-8 jokes.
A lot of people hate Notre Dame.
That's
I
fine.
hate them.
Okay, thank you for catching me up.
Yeah. it's just-
And that's fine.
It's fine.
But Notre Dame also was better than their record indicated, and this year we have a new quarterback, and a lot of our offensive and defensive lines are really good and filled with lots of players who've been there for 3 or 4 years. So when you have good lines, they open up a lot for the run game. And then the defense is able to stop the other team's run game, and they're doing really well. Our only loss is a 1-point loss to Georgia, who's currently ranked number 1. So
Right.
pretty good.
that was a big household.
That was our big
issue.
that was our big household game. Yeah, which I think we talked about
Oh, we did.
early on another show.
Yeah.
But the point is that I don't think at that point anyone knew that was going to be a top tier matchup. And now we know it's a matchup between 2 possible playoff teams.
Yeah, and nobody believes it though. Nobody really believes Georgia and Notre Dame are going to be, or at least they're starting to believe, right? Because for the longest time,
the thing about Georgia fans is that they they are never as uncomfortable as they are when other people are paying attention to how good they are.
mm-hmm.
So they're just trying to make this all go away as quickly as possible so that they can get back to being miserable. Which Auburn could beat them this weekend, and then they would be then
not going to happen.
order would
not
be
gonna happen.
restored.
Why-
I agree. I think
Yeah.
Why are they so sad?
they haven't won a championship since 1980, so they're a little sore about that.
Yeah, they're the kind of, it's weird because their history is kind of comparable to LSU in that they're a pretty solid tradition, and they're an SEC team and they win a lot, but for whatever reason LSU fans think that they're more than they actually are, whereas Georgia fans tend to kind of think that they're not as good as they actually are. I don't know, it's almost a yin and yang with them because they're really about the same level of SEC.
There's just so much psychosis and superstition that Georgia fans have about so many things,
Right.
and I don't pretend to understand all of it.
And
but
it's
it's weird.
That's most of college, 90% of college football is psychosis.
Yeah, well, I know.
And
But I'm this year I've been kind of sitting back and enjoying the spectacle. Notre Dame's been great. I've really enjoyed LSU, the way they've come back since the Troy loss, and even though I didn't think they were going to beat Alabama, I thought they looked really strong in that game, actually. Like, they played really physical and tough, and
They had everything but a quarterback.
they had everything but a quarterback.
It's like there were a couple of plays like Alabama's quarterback made a couple of plays in key situations that helped them win.
I mean, Jalen Hurts is amazing.
and he
Even if
like,
it's...
it was a lot like last year's game. Hurts made a couple of plays, like the little third down plays where he either scrambled or he made a big throw that you can point to, like the 2 or 3 plays that Etling missed a throw and like he underthrew Shark a couple times, and like if those plays had hit, it would have been a lot closer.
Yeah.
Like those are evenly matched teams.
They're pretty evenly matched. I think Alabama's lines were better, but it's because LSU is also a really, really young, really injury-bitten team right now.
Yeah.
And so if they were healthy, and if they're, once they're like back with another year of experience, if people stop transferring out of there in the off season, I think they'll be in a lot better shape.
Well, so that's this thing with them going like for the rest of the year. Like, are they going to play the freshman quarterback and they just kind of give up on shit and like, or are they going to like try and win a couple of games? Because that's what you have to look out for. Is college football now is like at the end of the season, if they didn't win a whole lot of games, then you got a bunch of guys that are going to leave. Or
No, I think
give
they
up on
gotta.
them real quick.
I think they gotta try and win, because I think what they've done a good job this year of is learning how to come back from the first time that you get punched in the mouth and then you like keep going.
Mm-hmm.
That like the Mississippi State game and the Troy game, they looked terrible because like they got off to a bad start and they couldn't recover.
Yeah.
And later on, I think this is evidence of good coaching and good leadership from the older guys on the team, that they were able to like, well, everything's not going to go our way, but we're going to go out there and we're actually good at this, so let's just go out there and like play better.
Right. Which is the kind of thing you would expect to happen when you have a team with like 1,000 freshmen on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they learn shit as they go.
Yeah.
And it's not always pretty.
And
in
they
the
should
beginning.
keep doing that.
Right.
I hate it when college sports gets into this pattern like professional sports of like, well, we're just gonna, be in a rebuilding pattern for the rest of this year. And it's like, that's stupid. You're like, just go out there and win some games.
Right, this is the only year that these kids are going to have as that team,
just
right?
go and do that. It's not the Major League Baseball, where we're past the trade deadline. Guess we should all just go home. It's ridiculous.
Right. It's a good point. Like it's like, I think people forget who like these events are actually supposed to be for, and they really are kind of for the athletes. But there's so many other things that go into it, like the boosters think it's all about them because it is their money, and the fans who have nothing else to do think it's all about them, and it's really not. But it really should be, the focus should be on like these particular athletes on this team in this year, because like that's they should be having fun doing what they're doing.
Even if your mind is already set on next year, I don't think it's beneficial to give up on the current year in any kind of meaningful way. Like you see this sometimes where a team gets disappointed by their 6-6 record and they're like, we're going to decline a bowl because we don't deserve to go.
Right.
And it's like, well, why don't you just go to the bowl, have a good time, and take the 40 extra hours of practice that the NCAA lets you have, and have fun.
And like you said, like they're doing it for fun, right? So they should go. Let's go play more football.
Maybe it's not fun. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, great point.
Maybe they don't like it very much.
You can kind of see why that would be the case, right?
It seems very painful, and it seems like there's a lot of running involved, and a lot of people like yelling at you to do better.
And you get hurt easily.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you're in,
and you don't get paid.
You don't know. Yeah, you don't get paid.
Right.
And you're doing it so that maybe it's like an unpaid internship to find out if you're going to be able to join the NFL, so that you can just like get the shit beaten out of you more.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. People who play football hate football. That's my that's my thesis right now, and I'm just gonna just say that that's correct.
That's completely reasonable, actually.
Yeah, you're right. It's bad, and yet I love it.
No, I think it's funny.
We all love things. We all love a thing with terrible politics. And college football is mine.
Well, yeah, we talked about this lots of times, but like football is on the way out. like it's going to go away at some point, and we probably are like one of the last generations of people who like have been raised with the bug enough that like even though we are conscious of like the problems with it, like it's too in our blood and we know it too well, and it like
Guys, it's okay that you like football.
no, but that's what we're saying. It's really kind of not, except that it is, and that's just how it's going to be. And maybe like people younger than us, it's not going to be the same story.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna go away.
It's
at some point.
the withering away of the football state is what we're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we've landed on
But
another.
let's be clear, I'm not trying to make you feel bad about liking football.
We didn't take it that way.
I don't feel bad.
Good.
No, we don't. We don't feel bad at all. Actually,
I don't think you should. So stop.
No, and if I was one of those people who were like, excuse me, I think a full ride scholarship for academics is reward enough for playing football for Notre Dame, then then I would be an asshole. But no, pay the players.
Jesus Christ, pay them.
Absolutely.
I learned today that the NFL does internal investigations of domestic violence, and that is legal and fine. I didn't know
Nothing
that.
to see here. Everything's great.
It's really disturbing. That's all.
and it's also arbitrary, like the way they mete out the justice.
Yeah.
Like if it's something that they consider a PR problem, then
That's all it is.
yeah.
Yeah. No, nobody's doing actual the investigation is an investigation into how much it's worth us to protect the life of this woman.
No, that is the last thing on their minds.
Right.
Like it's like
That's all. Sorry to make this really depressing.
right. So speaking of
So we landed on a depressing point again.
So I've been watching a lot of college football. I also last week I took a tour for work of the Lake Bourne Surge Barrier out in New Orleans East. That was really cool.
Did you go up on it?
Yeah, I went on.
Do they have a train? They should have a train.
They don't have a train.
like a ride or something.
I went in the
That's a really good idea.
I went in the safe house up on top of the
wow.
On top of the sector gate. So that was pretty cool. It was weird because they have a sector gate where the gates swing closed, which operate like a normal gate. But they also have something called a barge gate where they literally have to unsink a barge, float it over, and then sink it again.
Yep.
And that's one of their gates. And I was like, what do you mean by a barge gate? Is a gate that barges go through? No, it's a gate that's literally made of a barge.
It's just a barge we put in front of it.
Yeah.
And it takes them a long time to do this,
Yeah, it
too,
does.
right?
Yeah.
So, they have to, when there's a storm coming, they have to make the decision on whether or not they want to close the barge
Yeah, they got to
gate.
do it 48 hours in advance at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a while.
So if you have something like Nate this year, where it was screaming across the Gulf, and people were trying to make decisions at the last minute, they had to know exactly when they were going to do that thing.
Yeah. And they have to give people notice because a lot of people with boats and stuff have to get through that gate
Right.
to get into the risk reduction system to their own moorings, along the industrial canal or wherever. And so a lot of people have to get through before they can close it. But the other interesting thing was on the sector gate they have depth gauges, and it was actually a little low. It was right at 0, but the gauge goes up to 26 feet high, and Katrina's surge was at 25 feet at that point. So it was actually visualizing that amount of water across literally everything I was looking at.
Oh wow.
Was overwhelming. It was amazing. It was an insane amount of water. Just picturing it.
That you imagined.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but it was crazy. Also, there were a lot of great birds, and there was a gator, and
Sounds nice.
It actually was really nice.
So again, you can take this tour for $50 or whatever through Gray Line, and they'll take you out on a bus. And they'll put you on the train that goes across the... No, you can't do any
The
of that stuff.
monorail,
Right.
yeah.
They do need a monorail.
They need a monorail that goes across the...
It goes from St. Bernard up Paris Road to Dongfang, and then perfect.
I will vote for anyone who promises a monorail.
Yeah, we need to get Frank Skurlock on this immediately.
Oh,
He
he's
probably-
the ideal monorail candidate.
Yeah, for sure. Except for that I would have to vote for him because I just promised that I would.
Oh, yeah. Well, you've created a prison of your own design.
Oh, a monorail prison.
right, Jeff, what's your so-so for the week?
Oh God! All right, now do I have to do one even?
Yeah, you promised.
Shit. I have half a mind to talk about the Saints now that we got into football, but I'm not going to do that. I've been on a self-care regimen lately.
Oh, no.
I've been not
You've
really,
been 2 Charlie horses during the production of this podcast.
right. It's not really of my own. Like, I didn't choose to be on one. It's more like because I have health insurance, like they make you do things like once a year in order to like, so they won't jack up your premium. But whatever.
So you've been doing preventative care appointments.
Mandatory preventative care appointments that are funny to me now because like I'm like at an age like that's comparable to the age of my car, where like I'm still running, but like I don't really work the way I used to.
You were born in 1994?
No, much earlier than that.
Okay.
And shit is falling off, and like things are not like, I'm just like, it's a daily struggle just to like just go forward without like, you know, I don't know, breaking something. So like I've had to go through the process of like, you know, going and getting the blood taken and then having them tell me that everything is normal, which is like a huge relief when you're in this situation because I don't feel I feel like shit. No, everything's normal. All your stuff is fine. It's great. You're doing a good job.
You're just hungover all the time.
Right, why do I feel like shit all the time? Oh, that's normal. Okay, oh, great. That's right, you
Yeah,
feel like
that's
shit.
just the condition of being human. It feels terrible.
It's bad.
Feels bad.
It's bad. You feel bad all the time. It's great. Okay, thank you for that reassurance.
Great. Everything hurts and I want to die. Yeah, you're perfectly healthy.
And then I went to the eye doctor for the first time in like 6 or 7 years. Mm-hmm. So I'm wearing like this new pair of glasses that don't. I have a headache right now because
they're
I'm not
stronger. Or
yeah, they're stronger, but like they also aren't right. Like I know they're not right, but I'm not going to say anything because then it just means I have to go back there and talk to them again.
So gonna fuck up your eyes forever.
Yeah, I mean, I was just
Jeff,
like,
don't do that.
In a couple of years, I'll go back. And I'll go, oh, okay, well, let's try this again and see if it works this time.
If they're wrong, then, like, go back there. Don't be a dummy. Like,
but
it
it might be me who is wrong.
No,
but
but that is how they make you feel at the eye doctor for some reason. I always wonder, too, am I the one who's wrong? Like, when they're doing the thing with, like, they show you the 2 different lenses or whatever, and you're like, the first one is worse. It never feels like you know for sure. At least in my experience,
What's the right answer? You're the doctor. Tell me what the fucking right answer is.
Yeah, tell me what's better.
So yeah, I don't know. The point is that I don't work anymore, and I'm just barely like chugging along in life. And I think that like the next time I go to get a brake tag, it's gonna be like another person telling me stuff that I don't want to hear. Was the whole point.
How long have you had these new glasses for?
Like 3 days.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Take them back.
Well, I think like having a slight headache after like only 3 days with new glasses, that sounds like a normal thing, right?
Yeah, eventually that'll work itself out, you know.
But eventually you're going to use your glasses to repair your car somehow.
No, I'm going to have my
burn it like an ant.
Yeah, that'll be the spark plug replacement.
I'm thinking about having my eyeballs removed. I think that might be the next thing.
You should do that.
No.
You're not a children's YouTube video.
Here's the thing. Your evidence for your body no longer working is that you got the wrong glasses.
Right.
Like, this whole thing.
It's not very sympathetic.
I don't work anymore. Is how you described
just because I'm too lazy to go back to the doctor and have them fix the thing they broke.
Right. Well, I also
it's not even a part of your body.
I also went like 7 years with duct tape on my car. Like, I mean, like where the window should be. So
it's different.
I don't know. I feel like it's the same. I feel like it's the same thing.
I do the same kind of shit, but I think like that's all the more reason you should listen to us.
Okay.
Because you got to do it now, or else they're gonna charge you a bunch more later.
I just feel like I'm in one of those situations where I find myself in all the time, where other people are running a scam on me because I don't have the information they have, and I'm not smart enough to figure out what's happening to me. And so I just want to get out of there. And
Here's what you do.
I don't want to go back.
You have to go back.
No.
But listen to my plan. It's good. You go back, you get the prescription, and then you stick it to them by getting glasses online.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And then
Are they cheaper that way?
They're so much cheaper.
Oh.
You
Do
can
they
get
work?
hipster glasses
Yeah.
from Warby Parker for like $95.
Yeah, it's still cheaper. And they might pay people that make them money.
Okay.
I doubt it, though. I can't imagine that they do.
Well, okay, so we're going to find an online frames vendor who wants to sponsor the Hunker Downcast. And then maybe we'll buy something from them.
Yep.
That would be the...
So you have to get a sponsorship first
Yeah.
before you will fix your glasses, which don't work.
We just got to leverage this
Your
somehow.
head's just going to keep hurting until somebody sponsors the show. Are you
Dude,
hearing this?
My
Glasses
head's
companies?
going to hurt anyway. It's
Only
fine.
you can stop Jeff's head from hurting.
Solve this.
Anyway.
Put some Miller Lite on it. All right.
We got to get out of this.
Yeah, we do. We have to extricate us from this hell world.
We got to get out of this fucking thing.
I'm sorry. I feel like
It's not your fault.
No.
We're the ones who took you on this journey.
I just find myself in this place all the time
Yeah.
where I do a thing that's ostensibly supposed to be fun and then it becomes depressing. Over and over again.
That's definitely our brand. Like, so who wants to hear the Jive Wire? Do you want to do the Jive Wire?
Let's do the
We
Jive
can
Wire.
Get out of here?
Yeah.
Would you like to read the Jive Wire, or do you want me to read it?
I think you should read it.
Okay, I'll read it. I don't remember the spiel. What is it?
The Hunker
This
Downcast
is
Jive
the
Wire.
Hunker Downcast Jive Wire, brought to you by We Met in the Air, perhaps. I
Forever.
guess. I don't know, because Ira. Hey, Ira, I need a new laptop. Actually, we were talking about this before.
The problem is probably your glasses.
Yeah. If I had a new laptop, this show would be so much
Come
better.
out on time.
Yeah, it would-
every week.
It would edit itself practically.
Yep.
It'd be great.
The Jive Wire,
The Jive Wire is
appears at the oddest hours.
the oddest hours. Your fake music calendar for no night in particular. The Steamboat Queenie hosts Callie Calliope at sunset. The 70s Ski Chalet has the Lusher Lushes at 6. Muttering Bills features Brain Eating Abitas at 7. A TBA Airbnb hosts The Landlord Community at 7. Cheers in Algiers has My Arnold's Loner Jacket at 7. Jameis's Crab Shack hosts Hokey Pokey Party at 7. The Baton Rouge Booster Bar has Less Woulda Won at 8. The Sean Payton Preservation Society has Rita Woulda Won, also at 8. The Sidebar has Fake Subpoenas at 8.
Figures.
The Amazon Welcome Pad features Incentivize at 9. The Frenchman Tourist Trap hosts Greasy Gree at 9. Iconic Formula is at the Brand Growth Bistro at 9. Can't even read this. Mr. Mays hosts Beer and Book Drop at 10. The Debutante Hall hosts Praxis Mobile at 10. Betty's Pub and Grub and Rub and Tub features The Happy Endings at 10.
Perfect for National Sexual Assault Week.
The
Every week.
The Outfall Canal Bar has Discarded Guns and Bones at 10. And finally, the Booty Bounce Bar features Wheezy White Girl at midnight. To get your gig into the Jive Wire, email us at hunkerdowncast@gmail.com or tweet at us at hunkerdowncast. Or, really just tweet us, because we don't really know what else is happening. There used to be a website that never got made. There was all kind of things, but really just,
We have a website.
yeah,
It auto updates.
right. And
Please
also,
contact Hunker Downcast if you'd like to give me your drugs.
remember to get out there to support
And enjoy.
some live local music.
And that'll do it for this week, guys. Thank you, as always, for enduring this podcast. If you made it to the end, congratulations.
Thanks.
I know none of you do. You're probably all asleep right now.
It's soothing.
It'll be fine. Thank you for doing this with us.
Yeah,
Kate.
thanks
Thanks for
Caitlin.
inviting me.
Yeah.
It's such a joy.
Caitlin, where can the people find you?
Like I said, I'm very Googleable.
Send your
on
drugs
Twitter. Yeah, send your drugs to my house. Thank you, everybody.
Or bring them to a Dean's List show?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. So Dean's List has a show once a month called Fake News. It's the first Wednesday of every month, except for when we change it to a different Wednesday of the month. You can follow us at Dean's List NOLA on Twitter. That's probably your best bet for finding out what we're up to. And also, we're on Facebook. You just have to search Dean's List NOLA because I don't know what our name is.
Use the internet to find.
Yeah, just use the internet like you know how.
I believe in you. You can do it.
You can definitely do it.
You got anything to add?
No, I'm getting sleepy, so
Yeah,
it's
okay.
time.
Okay.
Time to end. As always, when Allie falls asleep, that's when the show ends.
This is supposed to start at 8:30.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks a lot.
All right.
We'll see you.
Good night.
We'll see you next time.
Happy 40th.